Good morning, everybody. Catherine, how is it in France? Still cold?
It's just, I'm in Paris and it's raining cats and dogs. Otherwise, it's okay.
Not too bad, huh? Good. How is it in San Francisco, guys?
I need, I need my baton.
It is pleasant.
Pleasant. Good. To adjust the camera here a little bit. My room is listing slightly to starboard here. Well, I think that's better. Yes, that's better. And the other side. And reverse. And shoe circles. And reverse. And pink circles. And reverse. And reverse. when you're doing this exercise, this is a version of pulling the boat. When you go down, you should get taller. Because you've got an action going down, you need another action going up. All right? So you become taller. And relax and stretch up. And relax and stretch up. And stretch up. When you come down like this, you should go around and back to, in this case, to your left heel, to my heel over here. And then when I come down on this side, right, I'm coming down back to this foot, the bottom of this foot, this heel over here. Right? I hope that makes sense. And reverse. This back part here, right, where we're going in reverse. It's an overhand. It's like doing an overhand punch, like this. All right. Only you're doing it with the stick. It's not this. That's right. That's an underhand punch. This is an overhand punch. So it's not up from underneath. All right. That's perfectly legitimate. You can do it that way. It's just a different move. All right. This is over, 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 over. No. Catherine, you're doing this. That's underhand. Go over, over. Put the stick down. All right. Over. Yes. Over. 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 Catherine, you're becoming dangerous. Okay. All right. Now, just, you don't even have to think there's a stick there. All right. Just go over, 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 over. Yeah, better. Yes. No, put the stick down again. By God, we're going to get this today. All right? Over, 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 over.
Why can't I then?
You I don't know why. It's just a body habit. Slow, slow, slow. The reason you want to do it over, I mean, either way is a decent exercise. But the reason you do it over is to stretch out your lower back. That is your back between your hips and your ribs, right? The loins. Right? Stretch. It's not under. It's over, 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 over. You're just not used to punching people. You're just not used to punching. Yes, you just have to punch a few people and then you'll get the trick, all right? Now watch my body, not my fists. Watch my body. Slow. Make your fist go slow. You don't want to throw your fist faster than your body's moving. So it's not like that, right? It's your body. Yes. That way the punch comes from the bottom of your foot, up your leg to your loins, then out to your arms. Go over, over. Imagine you're standing in a giant ball, right? You're in the middle of a giant beach ball that's your whole body, right? You're going up the outside of that ball. Yes. In the old days in boxing, this was called a roundhouse punch. Boom. You're going around the outside of the ball. Okay, pick up the stick again. And continue to do roundhouse punches. Don't even think about the stick. There's another
Why
way to
can't
think.
I get it?
I don't know.
It's annoying. It's so frustrating.
These are habits of movement. One of the things you get out of Tai Chi and Qigong is to discover your own habits of movement. Think about it this way. You have on each hand, each forearm and hand, you have two surfaces, right? You've got, let's just call them the upper surface and the lower surface. Um, if your mind, whether you know it or not, if your mind is on your upper surface, you tend to go up like this, right? That's perfectly legitimate. It's just not what we're doing here, right? If your mind is on on the lower part, right, then you can. It's like it's touching this globe, right, that you're standing in. So your consciousness is on the lower part of your body, or your arms rather, right? If you put it on the upper part of your arms, you tend to go like this.
I don't know.
Work on it.
Yeah, I will. I will. I never understood this movement, so it's good. Thank you.
What you're trying to stretch out is this part of the back here, right? And when you go under, it actually closes that part of the back. What we're trying to do is open it. So if you go over, then it opens up this part of the back, right? Okay. Okay, you can put away your stick. So I've been thinking in the past couple of days how to explain to new students why we do the same thing all the time. Why do we do the same routine every morning? It's a fairly simple routine. Why do the same routine every morning, month after month, year after year? Do you know, Jill, why we do that?
So you get it into your bones.
That's exactly right. It's so that you become comfortable, so comfortable with it that it does get into your bones. And then you can begin to see your habitual way of using your body. And we all have these habits. The habits are actually good things. Their habits are ways of learning to move without wasting energy. The problem is that they become unconscious. And then you sort of lose. So I'm going to tell you guys a story. I think you've heard it before, but I'm going to tell you again. There was a doorway into Annie's office back when we were in San Francisco. And it had a curtain like one of these that went across the doorway, but it was never open. It was always, the curtain was just shoved to one side, right? So the curtain was always like this. And Annie would walk in, I mean, she walked in and out of that door 100,000 times. And every time she walked through that door, she would brush the curtain with her left shoulder. Right? And that was a signal to her that she could make a left turn. At some point, we either changed the curtain and put it on the other side, or I think we just took the curtain down because they weren't really using it. And the day we took it down, she ran into the wall 3 times. And hard. She just slammed her shoulder into the wall. And she goes, why am I doing that? And it was because we had removed her habitual signal. And once we identified what it was that was tricking her mind, she didn't run into the wall anymore. But you think about the establishment of that habitual pattern of walking. Why would you establish a habit like that? Because it was efficient. It was an efficient way to walk, and she's picking up signals from the environment. She knew she should make the turn right then. It had become so habitual, she was not conscious of it at all. And when we took the signal away, she didn't know how, her body didn't know what to do. So it literally ran into the wall. It ran in fairly hard too. And she goes, why am I running into the wall? Because your habitual signal is not there. So one of the points of Qigong and Tai Chi is just to begin to learn those things, to become conscious of how you're using your body. It may just be habitual ways of moving, of walking. I'm sort of picking on poor Annie, right? But Annie had a way of walking. Watch my right leg. All right. See how my foot is turned in a little bit? Now, I'm sort of exaggerating a little. You wouldn't really notice it unless you really looked at her back in the day, but her right leg was slightly turned in and had been that way since she had an accident when she was a kid. She wasn't conscious of it, but when she started doing Tai Chi and Qigong, watch, she had to stand in a horse stance, which opens the legs and the pelvis, and suddenly she started having pain in her right leg, really intense pain. And she, it's like, what's going on? Why is my leg hurting? I didn't do anything to it, etc., etc. And we talked about it for a while. and finally realized she's changing her gait. Her habitual way of walking was changing. And when you break out of a habit, often that breaking out can be accompanied by a little discomfort and even a little pain. So she had a lot of pain in this leg, guys, so much that she actually would cry at night. Right? And then it got better and better, and then it went to the other leg. And it's like, why, why is my left leg hurting? Because her left leg had adjusted itself to compensate for the problem in the right leg. So you fix the right leg, and now you got to fix the left leg. Then you got to go back and fix the right leg again. Jill, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know this problem so well. This is actually why I do Pilates.
Yeah.
Because whenever I have a pain in my left buttocks, it's because the whatever is happening in the right is let's see. It's basically the right is weak and the left is taking over. And so
Yeah.
that starts to hurt because it's doing so much extra work.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So we sort of figured that out and then realized, well, how can she incorporate that knowledge in what she's doing in Tai Chi and Qigong? And what she realized is she needs to focus a little bit on the right leg when she's exercising, and then focus a little on the left leg and back and forth. And that awareness begins to tie them together and balance them out a little better. And this went on for like 2 years or so until she really got over the problem that she had originally had. So, she's much, much more limber in her hips and her legs now than she used to be. But the process she went through to get there was painful. And I don't think there's any way to avoid the pain. When you break out of a habit, it's like breaking out of a kind of body armor and getting back to your original body. All right. So this issue probably just has to do with a way of thinking. There's actually a word for this in Tai Chi, for this specific problem that Catherine's dealing with. The English translation is slinging. Slinging, when you sling a punch, watch. That can be legitimate, right? But it's not legitimate if you can't do anything else. If it's unconscious and you can't do any alternatives, then that's not good. It's not that slinging is itself bad. It's when that's the only thing, when that's the only arrow in your quiver, that's bad, right? So it's not slinging from underneath. It's punching from over. There is a move, and Catherine and I did this, have been doing this just in the last couple of weeks. There is a move in the 24 form where you do sling something on purpose. Watch. Watch right here. That's kind of a side sling, right? So it's not that slinging is wrong, it's just that you have to know how to do an overhand punch too, all right? An overhand punch would look like this. All right? Instead of coming like this, it comes like this. It's coming over instead of under. If that makes any sense. Okay. Okay, squats, starting on the left leg. And the right leg. And the left leg again. And the right leg again. And prayer position. Okay, hands on the knees, up slowly. Shoulders. Yes, Jill.
Yeah, I need to go, so thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.
See you next time.
Bye.
Shoulders. And reverse. And the other side. And reverse. And alternate. and reverse. And double. And reverse. And good. Elbows. And reverse. And the other side. And reverse. And alternates. And reverse. These are also overhand. So think of it as coming up your back to your shoulder blade. It lifts your shoulder blade, not so much the shoulder, but the shoulder blade and then the elbow. Over, not under. There is one for under, right? Right? But it's not under, it's over. Yeah. Now, if you just extend your fist, yes, good, good. Okay, the wrists. And the other side. And double. And stretches. And the other side. And reverse. And the other side. And relax your wrists. All right, and the ankles. The other side. And rotate. And reverse. And the other side. And reverse. And close. And open. And close. And open. And close. And open. And close. And open. Doling. And touch the earth. And close your pores. Salute our masters and salute your classmates. Thank you, everyone. If you're going to stay for beginning Tai Chi, give me 10 minutes. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Ciao. We'll see you in a few minutes, Catherine.